All right, so what I'm going to show you is a couple lab tests that are really foundational and will give you a better understanding of how to optimize your results no matter what your goals are. Hormone optimization, improving performance, dropping body fat, breaking through plateaus. Ultimately, the name of the game is to improve detoxification. So if we can get rid of those toxins effectively and reduce metabolic stress or inflammation markers, we can improve our body's ability to perform at its best, right? The less stressed you are, the less stressed your body is, the more results you're going to get. And so we can tackle that through nutrition supplementation, and these lab tests give us a foundation of how to optimize those systems. So no matter what your goal is, understand that detoxification, getting rid of stuff, is going to be the priority, and getting rid of it in an effective manner is really key. So what we do is we want to look at making sure that you have the ability to remove the toxins effectively. And what happens a lot of times is that people don't have the foundations, the right mechanisms at the right level to properly detoxify. So we need to heal the body to properly detoxify. So what we have here typically is just a broken system. So this is the reason why typical nutrition and just generalized, eating healthy and moving around doesn't produce results, because there's a broken system in place. So let me give you an analogy here. Detoxification is like removing stuff from a dirty closet and ultimately getting it to the street where the garbage truck can pick it up and remove it from your house. And fat cells are the body's dirty closet. So that's where it shoves all the toxins, all the junk, to remove it from the system so that it can function with its heart, its immune system, etc. And we gain weight as a result to an accumulation of toxins, of stressors. So what we need to do is properly get rid of those things. So through supplementation, healthy nutrition, and exercise, we can increase the rate of detoxification. However, if the system is busted or you're doing things that are actually stressing you out more, then that can bog the system down and cause plateaus and diminished results. And it can cause joint pain and inflammation and all sorts of issues. So what we want to do is make sure that you have the foundations down to make sure that you can properly get the junk out of the fat cells to ultimately get it out into the street so the garbage truck can take it away from your house forever. Or in this analogy, what we want to do is remove the toxins from the body through breathing, sweating, and going number 1 and number 2 in the bathroom. Those are the ways you detoxify ultimately to get it out of the body. However, there's a lot of systems and processes involved with removing it from the fat cell to ultimately get it out of your system. What happens a lot of times is people recirculate those toxins and cause more stress and more breakdown, which leaves them feeling frustrated and kind of spinning their wheels. No matter what you do, eating healthy, no matter what you do moving wise, you're not getting results. It's usually due to one of 3 things, or a combination of these 3 things going on that are dysfunctional. And these lab tests find out exactly what's going on. So let me get into it. This first test is a food intolerance test. So this is a client of mine. He had a lot of intolerances. You can see the green, the yellow, and the red. These are indicators of how intolerant you are to foods. And then over to the left, we got our different types of foods. We got eggs, we got rice, we got beans, and all sorts of different types of foods. We got the vegetables, we got your fruits and vegetables, protein. And we can see all those different types of foods, ton of them, all different types of foods cooked in different ways. And then these are all seemingly healthy foods in general. But we can see that he's got some indicators to the right. You can see in the red that he's intolerant to a lot of certain foods. So this indicates that he is very intolerant to ginger. Ginger is inherently healthy, but it causes inflammation in him, right? So he should lay off ginger. Salmon, inherently good protein right there, right? He's very intolerant, 3.32. He's in the red there. All these numbers, really the most important part is just to avoid the foods in the red. And this doesn't mean permanently, it just means until his body calms down. He's got a lot of foods in the red you can see here, which means that his body's just very reactive. And when he would reduce these foods, he would perform better, get better results, and he would just ultimately improve his ability to detoxify by just reducing foods that would cause him stress. You can see eggs, inherently healthy, caused a lot of stress for him. He was intolerant to it. So we had to remove these for a period of time until he felt better. So that's the food intolerance test there. The next one I want to go over is the leaky gut test. So this is a test that looks at how solid your digestive system is, because digestion is a key part of removing toxins. And if you have leaky pipes, it's equivalent to you trying to just move water through those pipes, and you got a drip that causes issues in the ceiling, and then you got to replace the ceiling. Like, this is an example I'm using just so that you can visualize this. But if you had a leaky gut, it would essentially be getting the stuff from the fat cells, the toxins, to circulate into your small intestine. And then because you have a leaky gut, those toxins are going to leak through the gut and then back into the body, and that's going to cause more stress, and it's going to have to cause a second round of your body having to deal and attack those toxins to protect your body, which causes more stress. So we want to remove those stressors, but first we want to look at if your body has the capability of removing them without having holes in the small intestine. And you can see here, this individual had a couple readings in the red, which indicate a couple things. One, right here, this top reading, these measurements these factors right here, we're looking at the type of leaky gut that he may have. And then down here, these last three, these LPS, these are indicators of bacterial overgrowth. So he's got some bad bacteria in his body, and he's got a leaky gut. So we need to address those with therapeutic supplementation. So we got special supplements that really target these specific readings to properly treat them and optimize the body so we get all those numbers back in the green. So that's leaky gut. We went over the food intolerance test, which is really the foundation to your nutrition, so what you should eat and what you should avoid to remove stress. And then the other one is the blood-brain barrier. So this is something that removes the brain from the rest of the body. If you have a toxin running through your blood, the last thing you want that toxin to go to is your brain, which is the master controller of the body. It's the master hormone gland. It affects everything. So the blood-brain barrier we want to make sure is rock solid. And you can see right here, this one's out of range right here for this individual. He was having all sorts of issues. He wasn't able to concentrate. He had poor memory retention. He had sleep issues. So these are just indicators, signs, and symptoms that he may have a leaky blood-brain barrier, and we just tested out just to make sure, and it showed that, yes, he was out of range. He had a leaky blood-brain barrier, so we had to address that, again, with therapeutic supplementation, specifically a high dose of fish oil, DHA fish oil, that allowed his brain to recoup and recover to optimize his barrier so that he could properly detoxify. So these are examples of foundational tests that allow us to understand the lay of the land and how solid you are and how ready you are to do a detoxification. And what's cool about all this is that because you're enhancing the foundations, the systems of detoxification, right? By making sure that your gut is solid, by making sure your blood-brain barrier is solid, you are reducing any type of stress that your body may be exposed to in detoxification, thus by that reducing metabolic stress and ultimately getting rid of things that your body doesn't need. So that's a foundation of testing. Hopefully this makes sense. Let me know if you have any questions. The process of ordering these tests, you just reach out to me, let me know. I will contact the doctor. He will then send you an invoice. You pay for those tests, and we can split these up, pay for them all at once. But it'll give you an invoice, you pay for that, and then basically what we need to do is just coordinate with the local lab to draw the blood for these tests, and we can get these readings done and back to you within 2 to 3 weeks. So that's it for the lab testing. Hopefully this gives you a good overview and an understanding, some good visuals to ultimately what is in store for you and how this can optimize your results. Thanks for watching.